We're going to go ahead and get started with our speaking program, and with that, I am just going to turn it over immediately to the mayor of Grand Rapids, Dale Christie.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. This is an exciting day for Grand Rapids. We've been excited about this project for a long time now. As far as I know, we are the first rural town in the United States to have a project like this, to try it out. So we're happy that we can be the host, and we have tried to be as helpful as we can on our end with the project. So I'd like to thank city staff for doing that. So people have asked me, how do we keep Grand Rapids moving forward and being the vibrant town it is for a rural town? And after 14 years of doing this, I've come down to the notion that it's about people. Things are only as good as the people involved, and collaboration, both with public and private partnerships. And I think we've done a good job of that, and this project is a perfect example of that. So here we are at our new fire hall, just open about a year now. And I have to say that when I first met Senator Klobuchar, it was at another new building. That was the library, but that was quite a few years ago for those from Grand Rapids that know that. She wasn't Senator Klobuchar then. She was County Attorney Amy Klobuchar, and she was running in the primary for her party's nomination. And some friends of mine say, you got to go listen to this person. You got to go meet her. And I could tell then that she knew the importance of collaboration and working across the aisle and getting things done. I always appreciated, I used to bring I'm a teacher, and I brought students out to Washington, D.C. with the close-up program, and she was always gracious enough to meet with our students. She was always very accommodating, and we were kind of the envy of some other states who had people there, because they hardly ever got to meet with their senators, so we always appreciated that. My notes are really small.
Yeah, that is small.
One of the things that Senator Klobuchar is really good on, or has been really known for over the years, is working across the aisle, getting things done. She understands the importance of workforce housing. I know as a city we've been the benefactors of that. Had a meeting with her staff about a year ago about workforce development out at ICC. That was very helpful. And she's always been strong on infrastructure. And so I'm glad that she's supporting this project. I'm really excited that she can be here today. And without further ado, I don't need to introduce her, but everybody knows who she is, but Senator Klobuchar.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Christie. And I have to say, I had the most amazing drive up here through the fall leaves to Grand Rapids. I literally took videos right outside of town to send to my daughter because it's so beautiful today. And the sun is shining on this town, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you are ahead of your time, that you were willing to take a chance on a really unique project that fits our changing demographics in Minnesota, and the fact that we have people living longer, the fact that we have found ways, especially in greater Minnesota, to find places for people with disabilities to be able to live and work and be part of our community. So I'm really excited. I also see my friend Tom Saxhog out there with his cool sunglasses, trying to look like the president, I guess. And then I also wanted to acknowledge the city administrator, Mayor, who brought me a petitza. I have Slovenian roots, and I truly enjoyed that special thought. So we serve petitza from time to time in my office in Washington, and as you may know, in northern Minnesota there are several petitza makers, and we never say which one made the petitza because there's a lot of competition going on up here. I also wanted to recognize MnDOT Interim Deputy Commissioner and Chief Engineer Gene Wallace, all the great MnDOT leaders that are here today for this exciting launch of this goMarti project. These free on-demand shuttles will make a real difference by making it easier to get around town. goMarti will give seniors and people with disabilities increased access to the transit services they depend on, and providing an additional transportation option for residents and visitors alike. It will help us to meet Grand Rapids' increasing transit needs. And what we're doing here, and what MnDOT and the mayor, local, state, federal, what we've done here is to harness cutting-edge technological innovations to address critical community priorities. It really represents the best of what we can do with partnerships. And it's so important because we need transit systems and ways to get around that match where we are now and where we're going to be, not where we were 100 years ago. That was a lot about what the bipartisan infrastructure law that I worked hard to pass accomplished. And we're going to get that 21st century transit system in place. I think you all know about the funding for roads. I had really interested MnDOT just report back really interesting rides today on about 8 dirt roads because it was fine. It was just work that's being done. Just shows work in progress as they diverted the traffic. And I think you know, my dad once wrote a book called 8 Miles Without a Pothole is the closest to heaven I'll ever get. And so we continue to work on our roads, on broadband, so important to greater Minnesota. The pandemic put this big magnifying glass on all that. We have 144,000 people in our state, families in our state that don't have high-speed access, a lot of them in northern Minnesota, rural counties. And so I'm really excited that we're finally going to be able to connect every corner of our state. And then, of course, we also created the Strengthening Mobility and Revolutionizing Transportation Grant. Guess what that stands for? Strengthening S, Mobility M, and Revolutionizing R, Transportation. The SMART Grant. We're always really good at coming up with these in Washington. Which will provide communities with resources to deploy high-tech systems such as logistics and connected vehicles to boost efficiency. So these grants are going to enable programs like goMarti throughout our state and the country. So as today's launch will show us, our state is once again ahead of the curve. So what we want is to get those grants out, not only to expand this program here in Grand Rapids, but it's going to become a showcase as other communities, right, are looking in our state and in other places what they can do with this technology. We know that the demographics show us we're going to see a doubling of our senior population in the next few decades. We've already seen major increases. It's great that people are living longer, but we're seeing that doubling of the population. We have to think about how we're going to accommodate that so people don't all have to move somewhere else, so they can stay where they are and live where they are and be with their grandkids and go to their favorite places. And so that's a lot about what this is, as well as helping our people with disabilities to be able to be thriving members of our community. So I can't wait to see this. I think we're going to see a model. Is that correct? And I don't even have to drive it, correct? Okay, that's good. So I want to thank all of you, and I think we're going to turn it over to Deputy Commissioner Jean Wallace, who will take it from here. Thanks, everyone.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. What a beautiful day. It's so great to be here today to talk about the future of transportation and this exciting pilot project, the goMarti self-driving shuttle. Hi, I'm Jean Wallace. I'm the Interim Deputy Commissioner and Chief Engineer for the Minnesota Department of Transportation. And again, what an exciting day for transportation in Minnesota. MnDOT's Connected and Automated Vehicles Office, or CAV as we call them, is leading the way to prepare our state for the future of transportation right here in Grand Rapids. And this project is a great opportunity to provide a safe, alternative transportation choice for the Grand Rapids community, particularly for those who have mobility issues. The goMarti shuttle project is actually the third autonomous vehicle pilot project in Minnesota and the first in northern Minnesota. The other projects that we've done include the Med City Mover project in Rochester, downtown Rochester, which was our first pilot project and just ended this summer. We're in the process of analyzing what we learned from that project. It was a year-long project, and applying those findings to future driverless shuttle projects, including this project here in Grand Rapids. And the Bear Track Shuttle project just recently launched in the city of White Bear Lake and will provide even more insight in how the shuttle operates in suburban areas. So this is more than an example of innovation in transportation, though. It also represents the wonderful public-private partnerships that rely heavily on community input and collaboration. In other words, this project can't succeed without all of you. This project doesn't succeed without riders. We need you. Your feedback and experiences riding these vehicles will help us learn more about this technology and apply those lessons to the future projects, both what works well and what may need improvement. At MnDOT, it's really vitally important to us that all Minnesotans have their voice in shaping the future of transportation. We have many important decisions ahead, and we want to hear from you. Thank you again for coming today. And now, here to talk a bit more about the project is MnDOT's goMarti project manager, Thomas Johnson Kaiser.
Thanks, Jean. As Jean mentioned, I'm Thomas Johnson Kaiser, Engagement Project Manager with our Connected and Automated Vehicle Office at MnDOT. So we are so excited to launch this pilot project here in Grand Rapids, and could not have happened if it wasn't for the enthusiasm of the Grand Rapids community's leaders and its residents. Demonstration projects like goMarti are key to helping us learn about this technology and how it can best serve Minnesotans. Our Connected and Automated Vehicle Office at MnDOT is working hard to increase transportation choice and access for Minnesotans, and self-driving vehicles like these are just one piece of that puzzle. All of our Connected and Automated Vehicle projects at MnDOT have unique goals. So for this project here in Grand Rapids, we hope these shuttles provide multiple opportunities for MnDOT and our partners to learn about the technology, while also providing the public a safe and innovative choice in transportation, particularly those with mobility challenges. We want to learn how this technology works in rural winter conditions, and we know there's no better ways to do that than here in Grand Rapids in northern Minnesota to really put this technology to the test in those winter conditions.
Now we know.
We also want to educate and engage the local community by providing them this real-world automated vehicle experience. All of our project partners have played a vital role in getting this project launched. So in addition to our project and technology partners, the Plum Catalysts, May Mobility, and VIA, I especially want to thank our local government and community partners, the City of Grand Rapids, Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation, Itasca County, Blandin Foundation, Mobility Mania, Visit Grand Rapids, University of Minnesota, First Call 211, Arrowhead Regional Development Commission, Itasca Area Schools Collaborative, and Innovate 218. As you can see, we have a lot of great partners on this project. They've all been wonderful to work with, and this project would not have been possible without them. So with that, I want to hand it over to one of our valued partners from the Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation, Ryan Malich.
Thanks, Thomas. It's been great to work with MnDOT's Connected and Automated Vehicle Office on this exciting project in rural northeastern Minnesota. Hello, my name is Ryan Malich. I'm a loan officer on the development team at the Department of Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation. We're a state of Minnesota economic development agency that reinvests local taconite production taxes back into northeastern Minnesota businesses and communities. Our mission is to strengthen and diversify the regional economy. We've been following the goMarti project for quite some time and are excited to be here celebrating its launch. It most certainly will put Grand Rapids on the map as it relates to the future of transportation. Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation was very pleased to support the goMarti project with 2 grants to the City of Grand Rapids, including a Development Partnership Grant and a Downtown Streetscapes Grant. We're pleased to be part of this local, innovative initiative led by the City of Grand Rapids that leverages partnerships with so many stakeholders at the local, regional, and state level. Thriving communities are at the pinnacle of our work to strengthen the region's economy. What's happening here in Grand Rapids is successful business, community, and workforce development in action here in northeastern Minnesota. The goMarti project is achieving business development by bringing technology companies like May Mobility and VIA to our region. It's achieving community development by providing equitable transportation for people with mobility challenges in a rural community. And it's achieving workforce development by engaging with the local pre-K through 12 school district and Minnesota North college curriculums, as well as hiring and training over 20 local community members to join the operations and project staff. Our local students were able to learn about cab technology to be involved in the actual route designs. The students were introduced to real-world, future-oriented job experience right here in their hometown. They learned about the technology associated with automated vehicles such as LiDAR. They were able to learn how LiDAR plays an important role in helping the automated cars navigate the community. And the students were able to play an important role in designing the visualization features needed to make a project like this work in a rural landscape. An added special component of the goMarti project is that it's launching during National Disability Employment Awareness Month. The goMarti project will be serving people with disabilities, and MDI is on the goMarti route. MDI is one of the region's largest employers of people with disabilities. Congratulations to the City of Grand Rapids, its business owners, community members, and volunteers who are working together to bring about automated transportation and the goMarti project. Your work and innovation make our region stronger and a better place to work, live, and play. Next, I'm honored to introduce Cheryl Seitz from May Mobility, the transportation industry partner that is key to this project's success. We welcome you, your staff, and company to rural northeastern Minnesota.
Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl Seitz and I am the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at May Mobility. We are delighted to be here today to celebrate goMarti. This is a visionary pilot that's been years in the making. I want to extend a huge thank you to the many partners, businesses, stakeholders, and organizations that have helped bring this innovative vision to life for Grand Rapids. At May Mobility, our vision is to transform cities through autonomous technology, and that is to make transportation safe, equitable, accessible, and sustainable for everyone. Part of making transportation equitable is making sure that leading-edge technologies like autonomous vehicles are available where it's needed the most, whether that's a city, a town, or a rural area. And so we like partnering with organizations that share that vision for bringing accessible transportation to people who live in these communities. A community is made up of many different kinds of people with many different kinds of needs, and we work tirelessly to ensure that our fleets meet the needs of the communities that we serve. And so part of bringing safe and accessible mobility options means that we have worked hard to bring our latest technology to Grand Rapids and to the goMarti project. So I'm happy to say that this is the first time we have brought our wheelchair accessible, ADA compliant shuttles into service. So here in this fleet, we have 3 wheelchair accessible, ADA compliant shuttles, and we also have 2 passenger shuttles that make up a total of 5 in the fleet. We couldn't be more excited to showcase it here first in Grand Rapids and to this community. We're optimizing the program with VIA. VIA is an amazing partner of ours, and I'm going to say a few words about VIA's technology. VIA has an AI-based routing and booking algorithm in their app that will power this deployment. We want riders to be able to access all of the destinations on the route and travel safely wherever they want to go. This includes a lot of essential services such as grocery stores, shopping areas, and medical centers. When you download the VIA app, riders can enjoy on-demand, flexible ride service to any of these destinations on the route. A key part of making transportation sustainable is minimizing traffic through shared rides. So VIA's advanced booking system in the app matches riders going in the same direction, which means we can minimize traffic and efficiencies on the road. So riders can download the VIA app day and take a ride on demand, flexibly, day or night, on shared trips. Riders who don't have a smartphone or don't have access to the app can call 211 and book the same on-demand flexible transportation. At May Mobility, our goal has always been to engage and educate the local communities where we serve. So providing AV experiences is one part of it, but keeping the community engaged is another. So we don't come and launch and go, we come and launch and live. And we're very excited to be a part of the service and part of the goMarti pilot today. So thank you for the opportunity to bring our autonomous technology in our fleet of wheelchair accessible and passenger vehicles to the goMarti pilot. We look forward to continued collaboration with the city and the stakeholders and the partners that have been working hard to make this project a reality for the community. And next up, I have my key partner, our project lead and head and founder of the Plum Catalyst, Tammy, Meehan, Russell.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you for the May team and all that you are doing to make this project an actual reality. So thank you to all the partners. I am Tammy Meehan Russell. I am the president and chief catalyst of the Plum Catalyst, which is a strategy and innovation firm. I wanted to just also mention, as they said, I am the project manager for goMarti. So having been with it from the beginning during the planning stages, following a lot of the community engagement work that actually happened years ago. The Plum Catalyst mission is to help build smarter, more connected communities where transportation is safe, seamless, equitable, and fun. The Plum Catalyst team brings our passion, learning, understanding, and mobilization to help bring forward these new mobility innovations faster to those who need them the most. So goMarti started and continues today, as everyone here has said, as an excellent example of a public-private partnership. And I will just say I'm going to talk briefly about the nonprofit partnership as well. As you can see, it's our belief that the secret to success from all of these speakers is engagement, education, and collaboration at all levels. Engagement with the community on their usage, especially targeting accessibility for all. Engagement with future talent and workforce, as we've already mentioned. We have a group of students over here who helped us last spring with creating some fixtures you'll actually see along the route. So if you have a chance, go check out the route and the fixtures these students worked on last spring. Thank you for that, students. And as well as upskilling and reskilling current workforce, having hired a number of autonomous vehicle operators and other operations staff locally. And engagement with our local, state, and national stakeholders collaboratively to bring new technologies to these communities in responsible, safe, and equitable ways. So the project all started as a highly collaborative project, and we wanted to make sure, and we continue to make sure, that it is a community-led project. That's where we focus on the community and focus on the community identifying where the vehicle will stop, the hours that they wanted the shuttle to operate. So we actually did a number of community listening sessions to be able to address their interests, and it will continue in allowing the community to have a say. The pilot program is also allowing us to creatively address the issues of accessibility, making it among the first deployment, as we said, in self-driving technology in a rural and soon-to-be winter conditions. Working with local 211 call center to book the rides for those who don't have smartphones, to ensuring that the vehicles have the ability to alert visually impaired passengers, and even working on creating the smooth loading process for individuals in wheelchairs. The goMarti project team has brought awareness and engaged in problem solving so everyone can have access to experience self-driving. And we want to make sure you can access that experience in Minnesota's nature. And now we will open it up for questions from media before we go back to an exciting announcement from the mayor. So
I have a question.
Oh.
How did it get its name, goMarti?
The question, how did it get its name? Well, there are a number of state and local stakeholders. So actually, MARTI stands for Minnesota's Autonomous Rural Transit Initiative.
Okay. I thought maybe it was a person that wanted to. Hey,
No, is there a Marty? We could, yeah, it's named after.
He just told me, so Arrowhead Arrowhead Transit provides dial-a-ride service in Grand Rapids. How does this complement the dial-a-ride service, and what does it mean for transit agencies across the state that have trouble recruiting transit operators?
Anyone want to take that one, or you want me to take that one? Okay, I will start. Thomas may jump in on this one. So basically what we did in the community listening sessions is we wanted to hear from the riders locally, how might we be able to complement existing transit. Our goal was not to come in and compete, and so we actually decided the hours of operation were most important to do that. So identified evening and weekend hours that would be most beneficial to the riders, and that's where you'll see that those hours definitely complement Arrowhead's current services.
Okay, and what does it mean for agencies that have trouble recruiting and retaining operators?
Thomas, you want to take that one?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we've worked really hard, to be in partnership with Arrowhead Transit as part of the project, and I think potentially long-term vision would be that these vehicles currently do have safety operators on board. So we did, as mentioned, hired a number of local staff for this project, but potentially long-term vision could be maybe many years down the road no longer needing operators for self-driving vehicles. But we've tried really hard to work collaboratively with Arrowhead Transit and any local transit agencies for these projects, like Tammy mentioned, to be complementing existing transit services.
Gotcha. And because you mentioned that there might not be a need for operators moving forward, and a number of drivers who still drive for public transit agencies today are worried that autonomous vehicles will do away with their jobs. And I remember hearing that there will be some need for workforce development. How does the workforce development look like as we move to the transition to autonomous vehicles?
Yeah, one of the things, so we, as part of our Innovation Alliance that we have for our Governor's Advisory Council on Connected Automated Vehicles, we have a labor and workforce development committee that's looking at those exact same questions of how do we reskill and potentially upskill employees and be providing new opportunities, like Tammy mentioned, working with students as well. So I think that's something that we're definitely looking at and seeing how we can potentially reskill and upskill people as well.
Gotcha. And is there a fare for riding the autonomous vehicles? If there is, how much is it? If there isn't, who's paying for the operations of these vehicles and how much?
So currently these vehicles for the 18-month pilot will be free for people to use. So it's, as we mentioned, a lot of different funding partners as part of this project. It's been MnDOT, City of Grand Rapids, Bland Foundation, Itasca County, Iron Range Resources Rehabilitation, big public partnership, private-private partnership to fund this project.
Gotcha. And,
can I ask a question next, please?
Yes, go right ahead.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you guys so much for this amazing presentation, and it's very revolutionary. I mean, the fact that 5 self-driving shuttles will be implemented in the community of Grand Rapids. I was wondering, what is a possible future timeline look like if, depending on how these self-driving shuttles operate within the community, what does a possible future timeline look like in terms of implementing them in other communities, such as Bemidji or even smaller rural areas, say if it's even just one shuttle?
Yeah. Sure, I can try and paraphrase it. So the question is, what does this look like potentially implementing in other communities in around Minnesota, Bemidji, other maybe potential smaller communities? So currently, this is an 18-month pilot project here, so that's what we have committed. So that big thing of what we're trying to do is learn from this project and the community on what the interest is, what the engagement is, what people potentially want to use this technology for. So that's a part of the intention of this project, and as Jean mentioned, our other projects that we've done throughout the state is to learn from the community. We have pre- and post-ride surveys that people can fill out and really let us know. So that's something that we'll be investigating as part of the project, is what different communities may this be an option for.
I should also, we can get you the exact numbers, but the bipartisan infrastructure bill that I mentioned has significant funding for these kinds of projects going forward, and we'll get you the exact numbers for the amount, Rachel, right? And that's going to be helpful across the country. So it supplements what they're already doing, but that's what we meant about them being ahead of their time. Also, we just got a grant for $3.4 million for upgrading rural transit in general. That's just for Minnesota that we obtained. So we're really trying to focus on this. And I am well aware of the workforce issues. That's why I'm such a proponent of, one, getting students into the jobs where we know there's openings and creating incentives for that. 2, focusing on apprenticeships. And 3, immigration reform, which would be very helpful. We have a number of Ukrainians here on work permits now in our state that who want to work, and there's other possibilities as well if we can raise the visa caps and also get some really smart reform going, because we have businesses that want to locate in greater Minnesota, and we want to make sure we have the workers, the housing, and the child care.
Senator Klobuchar, can you tell me some of the challenges that you have in advancing immigration reform at the Capitol
Sure.
with regards to...
Oh, it's a very easy job, but no, it is. I mean, the challenges are, you're not, before an election year, that election time, it's not going to happen, but there's some actual real interest in it after that. It has always been bipartisan. The last Senate bill was strongly bipartisan. Senator Grassley supported it, and the whole idea is to make sure that we can match our economic needs in our countries, especially in healthcare. One example, I have a bill with 14 Republicans on to allow medical students who study here in the U.S. to be able to do their residence in the U.S. They're actually studying at U.S. medical schools, and there are a few slots for them to stay, but then we make them leave. Yet they got medical degrees right here at the University of Minnesota, at Duluth, at Mayo, and we want them to stay. So those are the examples. There's a lot of specific areas of workforce where I think we could be really helped by getting something done. Because it's going to be harder and harder for us, and I want to make sure that we keep our community strong, and this is one answer. We're also, Senator Lindsey Graham and I just did the Afghan refugee bill to try to get them in a status after intensive vetting so that they can also get work permits, because they're here now, and we want to be able to allow people who served our country, work with our military, to be able to have good jobs.
Do you have time for one more question, or do you need to go?
I think I apologize. I think we have to close it down for the questions right now, but the team is available here for interviews and any additional questions one-on-one following the program. So before we start the goMarti demonstration rides done by May Mobility, which you'll be able to see right over here shortly, I'd like to make just a couple more quick introductions before I turn the microphone back to the Mayor of Grand Rapids, Dale Christie, for an exciting announcement.
Oh, yes.
So next to me are, over here, 2 important champions, advocates, community members who have made sure this self-driving technology is beneficial to our full community. And they have continued to ensure throughout the planning that accessibility is a key focus. So everyone can participate in this pilot and try these shuttles. Myrna Peterson and Lisa Arnold are here today from Mobility Mania, the goMarti partner organization dedicated to identifying and addressing accessibility issues, promoting accessibility awareness, and improving accessibility across northern Minnesota and beyond. Myrna, a retired educator with a deep passion for working with youth, as well as a huge advocate for bringing technology to improve the quality of life for differently abled. She dedicates her time to numerous task forces, including sitting on the Minnesota Council for Disabilities and the Governor's Advisory Council for Connected and Automated Vehicles. They're going to make me cry. And Lisa Arnold, Myrna's feet on the ground, helping execute all of Myrna's wild ideas, like working together to set a world record for number of wheelchairs run in succession on the roads, or bringing self-driving vehicles to the community. As well as Lisa has her own day job working with Itasca County to bring service options to those who need them and supporting organizations like those who've provided our refreshments over here, Itasca Life Options and Dragonflies Coffee. Every new transportation technology project needs a Myrna and a Lisa to keep the project's efforts focused on the importance of improving the quality of life for all of the riders. Myrna and Lisa together have amazing hearts for their community and have been huge supporters of the goMarti project from the moment I reached out to gauge their interest. To help celebrate that support and the official launch of goMarti, we will be asking Lisa to hold a button and Myrna will push our button to officially launch our goMarti pilot program, which may or may not include some confetti and confetti cannons. And now, just to be prepared, if you want to join in the fun of confetti, that's coming, I believe, is it coming this direction? Okay. So if you want to get confetti in your hair and enjoy that, please step forward. Otherwise, for now, I am going to turn it over back to the mayor, Daryl Christie, who has an important announcement, and he will count us down from 5 to officially push this button and launch goMarti. So, Mayor? Yeah, read it first and then count down. Are you good?
All right, thank you. Since I get the microphone again, I want to give a shout out. During my day job is I'm a high school teacher, and we have one of our high school classes here that was involved in the project, as they mentioned before. So I want to give a shout out to Matt Sandys, their teacher, and the whole class for being here today and for all the work that they've done. And I want to echo what you just said about Myrna. Those of us from Grand Rapids, we just say a force of nature, and we know who we're talking about. So, I'd like to read a proclamation for today being goMarti Day in Grand Rapids. Whereas our city continues to work to provide safe and accessible mobility for residents, especially those with transportation challenges. And whereas we strive to engage and educate the local community by providing real-world automated vehicle experiences, and whereas we understand the economic development this innovative pilot provides our city, while also attracting future talent and technology to the Iron Range. And whereas we aim to learn more about automated vehicles, or how automated vehicles operate in rural and winter conditions, and whereas the city engaged in an on-demand pilot program with MnDOT's Connected and Automated Vehicles Office called goMarti, Minnesota's Autonomous Rural Transit Initiative, and whereas riders can access a free on-demand shuttle ride by using a mobile app or calling 211, now therefore it be resolved that I, Dale Christie, Mayor of the City of Grand Rapids, do hereby proclaim October 5th, 2022 as goMarti Day. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to book a ride on goMarti to take the shuttle to wherever they work, live, or play. In witness thereof, I have hereto subscribed my name and the city and the seal of the City of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, this 5th day of October, 2022. And with that, are you ready, Myrna and Lisa?
Is the cannon ready?
The cannon's ready.
Ready? When we expand.
You ready?
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh.